Hello there! Oh, wrong franchise. It's a terrible franchise, isn't it, bud? Right. Welcome to the stream. I am joined by the one, the only, Mr. OK. Go on. Signed off, son.
Yeah. Hi. Hi, everybody.
Aha!
How you all doing?
Yes. Yeah, everyone's doing great. The crowd just really getting out there with the vocals, giving you the support, welcoming you to the stream. So, grand final.
You know what's really, really good as well?
Go on.
It's like the amount of viewers that are watching your stream right now is me.
Oh my god, that's like a record high for me from the get-go.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'll buy that for $1. So here we are, the grand final, Episodic Madness 2022.
Yep, and you're not in it, so you know.
Yeah, that'll make Zementh happy, won't it? Xandars. That'll make him very happy. We had a good showing though, didn't we? We were happy with what we did.
Absolutely.
We
considered it a win.
Yeah, we had a moral win. Our nemesis Tristan, with his anti-fighter list, put us down a peg or two. But, and then
we pushed him all the way though.
We did. And then Jeff, with his build, managed to somehow come out on top with some incredible dice rolls. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through Jeff's list, and Nick is going to go through Eben's list, and then we're going to jump into the stream while the two of them set themselves up. So let's do the thing. So list number 1, Eben. Nick, take it away.
Right, so Eben's list starts off with very strong Enterprise E, in my opinion. Obviously, Enterprise E doesn't need a target lock to fire its photon torpedoes. Jean-Luc Picard is giving him 2 actions, which is going to be very handy for him. The advanced shield, just making it a lot tankier. William T. Riker, even more tanky. The one that adds defense die. And Logeur, which allows him to reload those photon torpedoes quicker as well. So I think that's a very strong Enterprise E. It's very expensive at 48 points. So, once you lose that, Eben, you'd hope you'd be trading your Enterprise E for at least 2 of your opponent's ships. And then he's got a very strong Sao Paulo as well. I happen to know this particular Sao Paulo build very well. Vorik made his appearance in my Sao Paulo list when I ran in the Unnationals tournament. Basically, Worf and Sao Paulo just gel so well together. You're constantly spending that battle stations and getting it back, so you're basically always getting hits. Phaser cannons allowing you to do 2 attacks. Ablative armor, it's just a staple of the Defiant class. Arsenal and upgraded phasers and Type 8 are basically all for reloading those phaser cannons and giving you an extra 2 attack dice. Vorik, again, in defense, fantastic. And Julian Bashir is allowing you to use Vorik every turn.
And Vorik is a pain in the arse.
Yes. Well, he was for my opponents, definitely. And then Eben's fortunate or unfortunate booster, depending on who you ask, the Valjean. A Marquis Raider with just 2 dice in offense. It does have advanced phasers, allowing him to do a second attack, but ultimately it's not really going to be doing much more than that. But it does have a lot of reposition, which will be very handy in just at least keeping that 40 points alive. If he sees an opportunity to use ramming attack, which means that he can basically do a 6 dice attack and the opponent rolls -3 defense dice, then he may go for that, but it's an expensive attack to lose 40 points just to do a 6 dice attack. I don't see that being a good trade-off there. So Chakotay is allowing him to perform a second maneuver if he needs to. Evasive Pattern Omega is really, really handy. It allows him to do a barrel roll action at any time if he is in the primary firing arc of another ship and they are not in his. Seska allows him to effectively cancel an attack, but it is only against the Valjean, so it's whether or not he uses that just to protect those 40 points. And again, Balana Torres, good in attacking with rerolls, but ultimately, I don't think Eben's going to be using it for attacking. If anything, it's just going to be there for disruption. And Tuvok also is allowing you to do extra maneuvers. So it's a very maneuverable, going to be very hard to pin down and kill 40-point ship, but it's not. I don't feel like it's not going to offer much in offense. But to be fair, the Enterprise and the Sao Paulo have plenty in offense themselves. So
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
if you ignore the Valjean, it's going to creep up behind you, and if you ram and attacks the right target, you might see some return. But ironically, it's the cheapest ship in his fleet.
Exactly. I would have potentially suggested him using it as bait, but like you said, it's the cheapest ship in his list, so I can't see Jeff really wanting to go for the Valjean anyway. I suspect his primary targets will either be the Enterprise or the Sao Paulo. So, yeah, okay. So Jeff's list.
Oh, what a doozy this was. So you've got the IKS Takog, a Katinga class. It's got a free action when you perform a sensor echo. You may use the free maneuver template, so it's got quite an amazing amount of side scrolling, should we say. Larius plays into the ship's ability. If you perform a sensor echo, you place a battle stations beside the ship and an additional attack die, which puts it up to 5. You're gonna want to do that with the Takog. It's going to move around so well. Cord to dictate where his opponent's ship will move or has the planet styles face up. Lure for that one opportunity that Emperor switches off. You might be able to fly them off the board with one straight. You never know. I'm not sure if Eben's met that card yet. It's something you have to keep in the back of your mind. Capture to reduce the points cost of all his independent factions like the Ferengi and Meridor Gornale. Klingon Cloak and Device, one of your favourite cards. Convert a blank to an evade, and end phase, free time tokens to change a cloak token from its red to its green side. That'd be huge. Ferengi Photons, stress control, and being the ability to fire out the rear. Cough to put some shenanigans at the start of the game to just try and slow down Eben's couple of turn build. Meridor Gornale, extra attack dice at the cost of captain skill. Quark with a hidden upgrade, which we have seen in the previous game, but I won't spoil it for this, for those that haven't seen it. So that alone is an agile build. If that ship's got the capability to keep up, if any ship's got the capability to keep up with the Valjean, it would be the Takog. And it's got some strong offense, and being a Katinga, it's got a little bit more hull damage and a decent dial. That's backed up by the Guan. Absolute bizarre ship, really. It's got its own built-in interface generator in the form of Ibex Destiny. It's got a Verteron pulse trap for that stress control area for the start of the game. Integrated future tech for something hidden. Enhanced phasers to have a double attack, so one on each shot, one on each ship. Type 8 phaser to increase that to 3 dice. Sakona to make those real cheap. And also makes Verteron pulse trap free. Car for the rerolls, and I think it'll affect some of these ships that Eben's flying. It'll give Jeff an extra attack die. William Riker for the evasion. Internal compensators to turn. What is it? After performing a bank or a turn with a speed of 2 or greater, place an orcs and turn at 180. It can be useful. Trip phaser emitters with something hidden. So this one punches
going all over the place.
Yeah, going all over. Not as much as the Valjean, but it punches harder than the Valjean because of that extra attack dice, which makes a huge difference. And
yeah,
then
if you're doing two 3-dice attacks, definitely.
Yeah, I think typically you need 3 dice attacks as a minimum in this game to try and put something down on someone.
Sorry, that's 4 dice if he's got car going for him as well. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, defo. And then the Gal Gaffon was the booster. When initiating an attack while cloaked, you may fire plasma torpedoes without needing a lock. So it's kind of like a mini Enterprise E, which plays into the plasma torpedoes that it's equipped with, range 1 to 2, mind you. Romulan Commander, during the combat phase, your ship attacks before every other ship. So even though he's Captain Skill 7, he's shooting first. very handy. At a cost of an orcs. Double back. After performing a sensor echo, you may discard this card to immediately perform a reverse 1 or 2 full astern mover. That doesn't say it's red either, so that's quite interesting. I haven't seen that card before, so it's good to see that played. From the shadows, strike from the shadows. If it's cloak, discard this card. Flip the ship's cloak to its green side. Keep yourself cloaked, which is powerful, especially for quite a fragile ship, really. Nuclear warhead, a card you don't see often. At the end of the activation, discard this card and place a minefield token within range 1 of your ship, but not within your forward firing arc. Just covers your ass if someone's chasing you. Difference with this one is they have to fly over the token itself, not within range 1. Bridge officer, when instructed to place time tokens on one of your weapon upgrades, place 1 less time token, so that plays into the plasma torps. And then finally, Romulan helmsman. During the activation, if you were red, you may disable this card to treat that as a white. So it's a pretty nice build. That expensive, granted, but for a booster, which is the point of the tournament, it's got a 5 attack dice. It's got some decent maneuverability.
I would have been happy with it, definitely.
Yeah, nice. So there's quite a lot of ships on the board that are agile. So let's feed through to the stream, because I know that they're starting to set up and they're eager. And then let's patch through their audio. Right then, gents, can you hear me loud and clear?
All good.
Yep, that is the intros all sped through. Slated you to the floor there, Jeff. It just had to be done. I'm so sorry.
yeah, I understand.
So
I would have done the same thing.
What Nick and I are going to have to do is probably set up audio on a different program, so that we don't talk to you during the game. But also we want to hear what you guys are like saying out loud, and just a little bit of ambience. So,
Yeah, funny that, isn't it? We really should have thought about that beforehand.
Oh, I've already did. So I'll just send you a voice thingamajig now.
Okay.
Through Steam.
Uh...
There you go. And then let's add the audio.
Menacing Romulan. Where, Jeff?
Many 7s and 8s are down.
Alright, so I've muted myself in Discord.
And I shall mute myself in Discord as well, chaps. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Right then. I don't suppose you can tell how that's coming through on YouTube, can you?
Actually, I can check. 2 seconds.
Just close down my...
And then I'm set into negotiations.
Yeah, so I will.
There's a bit of an echo coming through from my end. I don't know why.
I'll target the Sao Paulo with cord.
I'm not sure why that would be. It sounds a little bit echo on my end. How bad is it?
So be there. This.
Let me just check it.
What happens if chord overlaps a ship? Just the same as a normal overlap?
It's strange because it wasn't there
You
in the
mean
intro.
if it moves and overlaps.
Yes, it's because of the Steam
Yeah.
chat. There's a...
Yeah, then it bumps and slides
Okay.
down. Well, it depends on.
But we've muted ourselves on Discord,
I see what
which
you're
is
saying.
strange.
Yeah, if lure gives a maneuver and it
Oh, well.
overlaps,
Is it,
you can
distracting,
choose
or is it
to
okay?
instead not move.
Let me just
But
have a
cord
listen
does
again.
not have that text on it, so that means if cord ship moves and it overlaps something, it's just normal overlap and it slides back.
I will deny those
Can you
negotiations.
just turn
His
the
house is
volume down a little
dishonorable.
bit, maybe?
And what
I
is
think it's
that?
where it's quite loud.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So I get
you
to
can
set
have
one.
control of the Sao Paulo dice.
You need to turn yourself up, certainly.
Okay.
Everyone's voice is overpowering over you.
Sounds good.
Right. Let's try that. Okay, I've tweaked all the volume levels. Give it about 30 seconds to feed through.
Yeah.
So, Let's look at their setup. Well, they're going for their squadron looks. Jeff's giving them.
I'm just gonna flip my hidden cards now.
I
so
just
don't
realised
forget to
that
do
they're
it.
on the wrong side of the board.
Have
Oh no, they're on the
interface
right side. That's fine. That was close. I've got the names the wrong way around. That's what's confusing
I
me.
have improved deflector screens under
Yeah, it looks like it's all better, but you just might want to just turn yourself up a little bit more,
second one.
just a tiny bit more, because you're the quietest of everyone.
Turn myself up. I need to increase my mic. That might do it. Alright, let's have a look. Just do it up. Just do it up.
Yeah, I think we'll just go with that.
Yeah.
now.
Okay, sweet.
Right, so looks like we haven't got a straight up joust, which I'm happy to see.
Yeah, well, there's enough
Members of the
manoeuvrability in the
ships
ships to
seem to be
to
around the
mitigate
opposite
that.
way.
I don't know who it benefits if they were to joust. Part of me wants to say it'd benefit Eben for a joust.
It would definitely benefit Evan. He's although no, it shouldn't really bother him. He's got obviously 3 crew have been disabled on his 3 ships, but he can reactivate all of those in his first turn. So
I think he's kind of fortunate that he's got like the Sovi and the Defiant. You know, they're the least manoeuvrable ships on the board in comparison to like all the other ships and their gimmicks. But that kind of plays to their style, doesn't it? Slow rolling works for the Feds.
mm.
The Valjean ain't gonna mind too much. It's got so much reposition that it can just compensate later on.
So the Vertron pulse trap, just refamiliar myself with that.
Range 1. If you
Okay,
begin
so
or end
just-
a move, you pick up an Orcs.
Yeah, so it's just like a cloak mine then.
Yeah. Difference with
A
cloak
Romulan
mines.
cloak mine.
Yeah. Difference with cloak mines is if you start in the mine, as long as you get out of the range 1 bubble, you're okay. But with Vertron, you get the Orcs no matter what.
Okay, gotcha.
But if you
Yeah,
do a
that'll
green
work.
maneuver, you'll get rid of it, provided you haven't already got
Good
one.
luck in her phone.
Right.
Otherwise,
Good
the
luck.
vicious circle continues.
Yeah. So there's nothing stopping
Okay.
Eben
okay.
flying his way through those Vertron that Vertron trap, as long as he goes slow.
But I've got a feeling it'll probably benefit him just to go down his right flank and then go between his planets. Where Jeff has got to make a decision early on with his positioning and commit, whereas Eben can slow roll still and easily
It just
pick him up.
uses action to remove that disable token for
Yeah, there we go. So
place him.
Eben's undisabling his ships.
Seska.
Oh,
That's me down.
Oh dear.
I can't see a maneuver that saves the Sao Paulo there.
Unless he's practiced this, I'm gonna.
No, I don't think a hard 2 saves the Sao Paulo there.
I don't think it does. Was that Jeff that did that with Core?
No, that's Eben. Oh,
Did I wonder if they mentioned the
miss that?
negotiations earlier? Yeah,
Did you take an action?
I think he might have. I think that might have been a Jeff maneuver.
yeah, I think you could be right.
Yeah, excellent move there from Jeff. I think he's.
Oh, he's
that's
just
good.
killed the Sao Paulo.
And that's when we were discussing the fleets that we mentioned about Eben not probably facing the lure card before and the manoeuvring gimmicks, and this is a prime example of why you have to keep those in the back of the mind of everything you
Sorry, I
do.
couldn't hear. Did you take an action with the Sao Paulo?
No, but he's good.
He's good.
Yeah, speaking as someone who experienced this during the tournament, it's not very pleasant.
Okay, MacLeod.
Okay, well, let's just change the dynamic of this game
I will.
right away.
Yeah.
And then we can pick a free.
I mean, wow. That's a right gut punch. That is.
I don't know where the echo things are.
Let's see if Evan's voice cracks at any point, and maybe we can gauge how he's feeling. In the bottom left of those that are watching the stream, you'll probably see Psy Guy and Winnebago. They're in table 1, which is what the stream's set up for, whereas we're on table 2. They were there first, kind of thing. So yeah, so Evan's got quite an uphill battle now. He's gonna lose to Sao Paulo, but the Enterprise is capable of doing some work on its own. He just
So
Yeah.
as a free action, I'm gonna
that Valjean's going to be huge. He's got to make sure he flies those 2 ships just right.
Forward.
So, there you go. Jeff's committed to the right, his right side.
Another 7. That's gonna go.
He's going to have to fly through that planet. And I think Evan's got to come out of here swinging. He's got to go attack aggressively, put some pressure on Jeff with the
I'll also
the ground.
Mhm.
straight, and I'll take that.
What is it? The Sao Paulo's 42 points. So, oof. If you were Eben, you'd have to get rid of the Takog or the Guanguan, wouldn't you? Really, to get back into this
Yeah.
game. What would you fancy going for?
The Takog. Cloaked ships can quite often be at the mercy of. Oh, that's a bump early on. Oh, that's unfortunate for Eben, because obviously he's now not going to get an action and won't be able to re-enable Riker. So, but yes, as I was saying, cloaked ships, albeit even though this is a slightly tankier cloaked ship with 4 hull, they're still at the mercy of dice. And, there are many occasions that you could be sitting pretty on a full health cloaked ship that's got all of its stuff going for it, but it just completely blanks out on a massive attack. And, again, we're talking about the Enterprise E here that's dishing out, with those photon torpedoes, it's dishing out at least 6 hits. So, 6 hits, and Jeff blanks out, and that's it, it's gone,
Yeah.
I suppose the same could be easily said for the Galgathon.
Galgathon's not got an interface, but the problem with shooting the Galgathon is it's cheaper than the Sao Paulo. So, which leaves Jeff's more offensive ships on the board to keep pounding the E, because the E's not going to last too long with 2 ships chasing it.
So what did we say there? We said that the Sao Paulo's 42 points. So yeah, the Cog. Okay. So yeah, he just needs to realistically take out one of Jeff's other ships, hopefully without taking any damage, and then we're back on a level playing field. But that's a big ask.
I don't want us to be seem like we're poo-pooing him, but that manoeuvre from Jeff there at the start with Cord on the Defiant, that's huge.
I'm wondering if Eben if it's dawned on him yet, the implication of it, but I suspect it has.
He's definitely going to learn from it, isn't he?
Well, you'd think I would have learned in my round 1 game, and I didn't, and he did it to me again in the final. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay, here we go. Here's the crucial bit. Dials are down. He's going to have to try the hard 2 to the left, I think. I think a 1 bank to the left would definitely take him off. The hard 2, nothing will keep him on, but it's
Nothing's going to keep him on. The hard 2, hard 1 there would keep him on, but obviously it doesn't have it.
Interestingly, Jeff, what do you reckon he's going to do? Do you reckon he's going to try and swing through those planets now, or is he going to slow roll? Because going for the vert one, I think, it does him a disservice.
Jeff's a conservative player from from experience, so I would say that that Jeff's going to slow roll. I don't think he's going to smell blood. There we go. And there goes the Sao Paulo.
Did he try the hard 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the time on their clock for us, please?
It's not started, actually.
Oh, just give him a shout.
Yeah.
I'll start with my Klingon 7.
Sorry for betting, guys. Just wanted to point out you guys haven't started a timer.
Oh, thanks.
Not too long.
When they decide on a time, I'll let you know.
No, I see him typing it now.
Yeah.
So they've not
So it's gone. Yeah, go first. Start it. 104.
Okay, and I will echo 1 right forward.
Yeah. So Jeff will still be very keenly aware of the Enterprise E and its capability. So I don't think Jeff needs to rush into this.
And my other 7.
Yeah, I think that would be Jeff's next big target, wouldn't it? Would be the Big E.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he's still got Ibex Destiny on the Guan, I think it was, and he's still got spoiler alert, he's got interphase underneath the Takog, which ramming attack.
He's already revealed, yeah.
Alright, with ramming attack it's considered a natural attack, so those 2 cards can mitigate that if Jeff sees a bad roll for the interface anyway, because I think you've got to trigger Ibex. Is it before you roll dice?
Yeah, that one's a little bit before any dice are rolled. You may discard this card.
Yeah. That's going to be a bit more situational.
Absolutely. But again, I don't think Evan.
Okay, 2 right back.
I don't know what Evan's going to go for, really. It's got to be just whatever is the best target at the time, I think.
Yeah. It's all about protecting that E, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Mitigate as much incoming shots as possible and try and chip away at something. He's got to lock something down.
4 forward.
Yep, that's a fair do.
And then he'll take off disabled from Riker. And
Something you don't see very often, they're both using the 2D planets, not the 3D ones.
In tabletop, I think it's better to use the 2D planets when you're playing around with things like cloak mines, Vertron pulse traps, and in this case potentially a nuclear warhead as well. Just because you can actually lay them on top of the planet. Whereas the 3D planets, it becomes a little bit more difficult.
Logistically challenging, should we say?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's if that's going to come up in a game, it's definitely better to go for the 2D planets. It looks like they're planning their round 3 maneuver. Evan having to regroup. could probably update your overlay.
Oh, that's a good shot, actually. Let's have a look. It was unfortunately the sad Paolo. I've missed the opportunity for the gifts. I'll keep hold of them for now. So again, Jeff doing some slow turns. Best thing to do there. He's still keeping options. Can go either way. I just feel drawn between the Fred and the Neve there with the planets, which actually plays into the E quite nicely because it limits the amount of ships coming at him.
Yeah.
I'll do 2 forward green, clear at sorts.
Then,
I'm wondering if Eben's X-wing history will come quite nicely into effect using the Valjean. A lot of extra manoeuvring options from X-wing. That's been
Definitely.
our bread and butter, isn't it? With how we like to play. We like to play with some more manoeuvring than jank. So this is probably where this is the time to shine for that.
My Romulan will do a
That's nicely positioned.
left.
yeah, he's got multiple directions he can choose next.
He could probably squeeze a hard 2 to the left and then a sensor echo if he so desired, or he could do probably a free bank to the left to thread the needle, or a couple forward just to slow roll
I think potentially a 1 forwards. Just again, don't commit too early.
And the other 7 will do
Plasma torpedoes are still range 1 to 2 though, so there is that little
Okay.
gimmick. He's got a balance.
I can see a sensor echo forward and right here.
and
I think a 2 would be perfect. 2 sensor echo.
yeah, I'll echo 3 left forward.
Yeah, I thought you might go for 3 actually. Yeah, he's proper Tokyo drifting around this board.
Oh, maybe.
Gotta spin, buddy. The irony is we've not even rolled a single die yet.
3 left forward.
That's a decent position. Yeah, nice position. that
Yeah,
is.
no, that's fine. I thought he was going to go the other way actually. I thought he was going to continue to fly around the outside of the board.
And it nicely lines up the Galgathon as well. 1 forward, just fly right next to it without any
Yeah.
risk of bumping. Has he pulled that off? Did he pull it off?
No. They are.
Kissing.
Yeah, the base is in the other base, so obviously it's their call. But yeah, no, he's getting the maneuver. It definitely. It's very, very close. Undo it and then yeah.
It's just those nubs, isn't it?
Splash.
Yeah, it's just a
Oh, you
slight. bit
Yeah,
bit
from my
along the
angle.
base.
But yeah, I can see it was a little nudge, but
I think I heard like a click.
Yeah, it's definitely not fair.
just on the corner. No, from where I was rotated, like, it looked like he was in for a second. I was like, oh.
That would have been nice.
Would have been interesting actually, because I wonder if he would have had the range on the Valjean. He wouldn't have had arc though, so.
If only Xandars was here with us now. I'm sure he'd say something profound.
Probably something derogatory about you.
You know what? That's exactly the exact word I was thinking.
Action for me.
Derogatory, not the like me bit. But...
Whoa. Free bank.
Gotta love those 3 banks. Actually, gotta love those 4 banks. I mean, Biggie doesn't have a 4 bank, does it?
No, free bank. It's still a good dial. It's a great dial, really. But the Kelvin Connie's dial is just slightly better because it's got tighter turns, whereas the Big E needs some space to really turn. And of course, the Kelvin Connie's got the 180 arc, which is huge. So,
unlike a Galaxy class. Hashtag Justice for Galaxy.
Yeah, hashtag Justice for Galaxy.
Hashtag Hazard triggered.
Hashtag I'm triggered. So what we want to see is a Galaxy class have a 180 arc, because otherwise you just take an Excelsior. There's just no point. And they're expensive for what they are. I think that would balance the Galaxy. Give it a 180 arc. It's got the saucer section. It's big enough for it anyway. Oh.
Okay, so we're still on to manoeuvring.
I think.
I don't really know. I think I would hope that Eben can see the benefits of flying into the planet and across it. But
yeah.
if he continues on the course he's on at the moment, all he's really doing is just lining himself up to be head to the Tikog and the Galgathon.
Yeah, that's a. You can see the kill box that Jeff's trying to set up. If Eben's going to get a shot off, I'm not sure if a free bank will pull it off. Maybe a free bank and then zip over the planet just to get some shots off and reload.
What I'd absolutely love to see is a hard 2. I'd love to see a hard 2 from Big E. And then he can hard 2 back in.
Hard freeze is all it's got.
That works. No, that hard 3 would work as well. Get him a little bit closer to the planet.
The Valjean you'd have to use a Ren Distraction with the Valjean surely and have it come down towards Jeff's table edge on the left there.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that can engage all 3 of those ships in one. That's just giving points away.
So the question is, what does Jeff want to do? Because he's now got to commit. He's got no choice.
Yeah.
Maybe not with the Galgathon. That doesn't have to commit. That can do a 1 forward and be all right. The Cog is in a position where it's now got to commit this turn. The Marquis Raider, I think, now that it's bumped into the back of the Tikog, it's going to be a lot more difficult to manoeuvre because it's not lined up anymore, and the other ships are going to need to get out of its way, basically.
The thing is, the Guan isn't. It hits a bit harder, doesn't it, than the Valjean? So
it's got a potential 4 dice attack. Oh well, no.
Yeah, against the Valjean it has, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say Captain Carr. It'll get him 3 dice against the Big E.
Right. So before they flip, let's settle. What should the Big E do? I personally think maybe a free bank to the left. Maybe even a 2 bank to the left. I think would be the best option. But is that what he's going to go for? Because he can't do a fast straight. He's just going to set himself up for the next turn and be stuck. Valjean's going to have to do a 4. The Valjean's got to rocket out of there as quickly as it can, really.
I think Big E will do a 1 bank left, but I'd love to see him do a hard 3 left.
Yeah, I think that.
But the safest bet is actually probably the 1 bank left, because you're still getting a decent amount of offense from whatever ship decides to come through that little planetary noose.
Yeah.
If the Tikog goes through there, he's gonna get a decent shot off on the Tikog. Although he's not, because it's cloaked. So there is that.
Yeah, but then
actually,
it's
does-
chucking
does
out
the-
6
does the-
dice with maximum mods, if provided he does the. Well, he's got the Picard, doesn't he? So Picard and scan. He's
Here's
probably
a
going to
question.
Picard and evade, really. But yeah, go on.
Does the Big E overrule a cloak ship? You don't need a target lock.
It does overrule it, yeah.
Okay, so he can use photon
Yeah.
torpedoes on a cloak ship.
Yeah.
There we go then. So yeah, I think
So he needs to get that shot off, and this is probably the perfect opportunity to do that without the because if the Tacog maintains its straight course, it's going to have the E and arc probably get to use its Ferengi photons, which might screw the manoeuvring a little bit, but not the end of the world. But if the Tacog does a bank and the E's still got that angle, then he's going to get a free shot off at the Tacog, isn't he?
chat says 3 green forward from being lured.
Oh shit, we forgot about that, didn't we?
We did.
This is a good opportunity to lure him, isn't it? Do
It
all.
is.
I thought lure was 1 forward. Is that fake messages?
That's fake messages. Lure is discard, target an enemy ship that is not within range 1 to 3 of his ship, which is obviously this particular case.
Yeah.
You can change the chosen maneuver to a green maneuver on its tile.
That wasn't Brian
target
by any
ship.
chance, was it? In the chat.
It's Draken.
Yeah, one of our Fremont community members.
Yeah.
I think that is. Is that Brian? I think that might be Brian.
Better not be Brian.
Or maybe I'm. Let's find out. I think it is.
It is.
Yeah. Oh fuck! Ban him! Ban him!
Get out.
Get it! Get out of here, you! Get out of here, you Nationals champion!
You told him to use lure and cord and all that.
So a big shout out to Brian. Thanks for joining the stream. Good to see you, Hank. It's good to see you about. But yeah, that's he's spot on there, because that would commit the Enterprise E, and then the net would settle. Because is lure green maneuvers, is it, or any maneuver? I forget.
Green maneuvers,
You
yeah.
have to target a particular ship.
Free
right?
forwards. That'd be devastating. That would.
D7.
Yeah, that's Brian, the Unnationals champion, the one who kicked my ass not once but twice during the Unnationals.
Didn't he pull that maneuver off that you said at the start of the stream where he flew off the board twice? He did it to you
Flew a
twice.
couple of my ships off the board, yes, definitely. Yes.
So you didn't learn from your mistake then?
No, clearly not. Well, actually, I did, because he only flew 1 ship off in the final rather than 2 in the first game. But we won't talk about it any further. Let's talk about this grand final.
Yeah, let's talk about this one. Yeah, that's the next PTSD show through.
So in
he's
the
sti-
meantime,
He still cries even now, Brian. Just so you know. Sometimes I get phone calls. I get phone calls every now and then. My ships.
Start with my Klingon.
where have my ships gone? So Eben choosing not to use Chakotay's extra maneuver in that position there.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Probably a good shout, actually.
And I'll do a 3 right. 3 right. Back.
Oh, actually, Brian raises a very good point. Actually, Jeff did point out that it was his son that built the
yeah, that's right.
built the fleet for Jeff.
The prodigy. I can't pronounce that word for the life of me. Prodigy. How do you pronounce it?
Yeah. Prodigy.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think we got there.
3 right back.
We'll just dumb ourselves down.
But yeah, there is definitely
Oh,
there's
wow.
definitely a Brian influence in this list.
And then my other one,
I'm not sure if I would have done that myself. I probably would have committed to the attack. Tacog's got enough to survive it, in my opinion. Hello, Vince Dog. I better just double check the cat is locked away in the bedroom and not walked out onto the patio.
Take my I'll take my nuclear warhead action. So
Oh, here we go. We're going to see the nuclear warhead in action.
And then my 8.
Hi, John. Nice to see you. Today was a good day for the Sao Paulo to die. Yes, definitely. In case you missed it, it was flown off the board in turn 2 by a rather nasty Ambassador Cord.
Complete my maneuver by sliding it back a little bit.
So, remains to be seen if that's a costly bump by the Guanguan.
Do you mind picking that up again?
Wolf had a very bad day.
I'm sorry, I was trying to say whether to turn around with my inertial compensators. I think that I will. Something else.
So, just going between mine and Hazard's prediction, the 2 bank from Big E.
This guy over here,
These guys are
the Romulan commander.
It would have to be the gun guy because the other ones are close.
Oh, of course he is close. Yes, still getting used to that. And the other guy's out of range just, I think. Yeah. And then normal action, hit just do nothing. Turn.
Okay, so at the end of the activation phase, you get to drop this down.
Here comes the nuclear warhead. Must be within range 1 of your ship, but not within your forward firing arc.
Let's go with that.
I would say that perhaps next turn
And
would
is
be
that
the
permanent, or is it a case of like when triggered removed?
That's permanent.
Cool.
And it will-
next turn would be a perfect opportunity to lure.
Bishops.
Get the Enterprise E to do 2 or 3 forward, so bumps into the planet. It would more than likely trigger the nuclear warhead once, and I would imagine he would have to. He would probably end up triggering it a second time, trying to
There's
move away.
No attacks. That one's through the planet.